Understanding, of course, that Heidi Jockers is assessing the same situation in Soweto. With the very latest, Heidi, good morning to you. And I understand that Police Minister Begile also expected to speak, and there is addressing the media.
Over to you, Mr.
Well, good morning. The day actually started 6 o'clock yesterday morning. That's the last time some of us we left the bed. And as we were in KZN dealing with the matters of the violence in the hostel, speaking to Amakos, we came up here. The actual issues about today, there was the question of Bramfontein last night, where there were mostly the students and the members of the EFF. The police detected that there were some problems. People were blocking the road, and we were told that others were stamping on the roofs of the cars that were there. So police, as usual, they had to make a call for them to stop. They couldn't stop, so they had to use the minimum kind of force. They used 10 grenades, and fortunately there were no rubber bullets used. That's my information there. People were arrested there. But up to this time, 57 people have been arrested around the country. In different provinces. Gauteng leads, and Free State comes after here, and then it will be Eastern Cape coming down, ending KwaZulu-Natal. There have been issues of some fires in some townships. That would be Tembisa and some of the other areas. But up to this point, does look like the situation is normal. People are going to work, special places like Soweto. Places like Alex, we're checking Cape Town. Yes, it looks like there was one bus that was attacked, but the people are going to work. The situation seems to be normal. That will be, as I've said, in KZN, except that KZN at Richards Bay, they burnt a bush there. A forest. They just went to burn the forest, but normally things will be under control and in almost normal situation. We are still integrated. We are working with the SANDF members, private security, communities. We are in touch with communities in different places, especially Wamashumlazi, Soweto, and Alex. We hope that those that will be marching, as long as they do peacefully, we have no reason of interfering with them. But when they begin to burn tires that we have collected up to this point, there are 24,300 in different countries. I don't know why Eastern Cape leads with 10,000, and this province comes next. Well, KZN has got few 999. That's why they're burning bushes maybe. But those tires were collected from the strategic areas where they've been put by those people under the bridges, at the corners and all that. So police have to take those tires, go and arrest them. Maybe after this, the owners will come and fetch that. But somebody did make a call to say tires are tools of trade. Maybe the trade that we see these fires, that's a trade that these tires are kept for. But we want to make a call even this juncture. Please, let's be peaceful. Try to minimize any form of confrontation, especially make sure that people don't get hurt, don't get injured. But police will have to be tough without being really brutal. Take people and put them in prison if it needs to be. But all work together.
Wonderful. Let's take some questions, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, show of hands, identify yourself. Go ahead, Heidi.
This is Heidi Jockers from eNCA. I just want to understand those that were arrested. You said 57 people were arrested. What happened when they were arrested?
Well, most of them were found making fires, blocking people to go to work, and causing some disruption in the normal life of those people. Police will go take them and charge them, but they were not peaceful. Those that were peaceful, For instance, I know that in Durban, students were marching along the beach yesterday and permanent and nobody touched them and all. So long those things happen, life will be fine. But you interfere with people that go to work, you bend the tires, you block the road, you tell the people not to go, you even tramp on the top of the roof of their cars and all that, and will have to really act and arrest you.
Morning, Minister. There'll always be criticism of police, whether they do their job or seemingly not doing their job. We've seen quite a lot of commentary, from some people who say, it is funny to see police out in full force. Of course, trying to ensure that there is law and order throughout the country. You've indicated that you've managed to put out some of those fires where incidents may have taken place. But others would argue and say, if this is what you're able to see in terms of how police act, why are police not out? That is the criticism. Generally to deal with other issues, but are showing such force or showing such muster when it comes to this march which has been organized by a certain political party.
Well, I don't know why sometimes they ask questions from us, that the questions sometimes they're supposed to ask from media. For instance, Friday, we were at Umlazi, full force with the roadblocks, we were there, door to door and all. We had one media house, in that I'm not going to say which one. But they were all invited. The problem, we are accused of reacting and going where maybe there is blood, where there is drama and all that. Here we are going on prevention. We've got a lot of preventative measures. Maybe those kind of preventative measures don't make stories. I heard somebody saying that we have called soldiers only now and during the COVID. People have just forgotten that we spend a lot of time having invited soldiers in the Cape Flats. They spend a lot of time when we're fighting gangsters and all that. We would have these isolated, not national. Maybe what makes news now is that it's national, we have gone everywhere, but we do have really hyped and quite up invite and operations where there will be an extra kind. We have moved the forces from this area to that area when we have those operations. So maybe that goes national. COVID-19 was national. This one is national. We have mobilized this when it's necessary, when we respond. That, by the way, including your Westbury, is the second time that we are mobilizing resources in Westbury. We have mobilized a lot of resources in Western Cape. We have mobilized resources in KwaMhlaba at Manguzi, where there are, as we speak now, there are extra soldiers, there are extra police, there are extra specialized units and all. So, but it happens on specific areas rather than national scale.
All right,
Nkosinathi Shazi from Power FM News. Considering how peaceful the morning has started, I also went to check out in Johannesburg, the CBD. Things are relatively calm and quiet. Does that mean that the police are doing their job, and are you proud of the deployment so far?
Every protest should be so. Because I don't want us to criminalize South Africans when they raise issues, when they protest and all that. I want to make that point very clear. Any political organization, including EFF and anybody else, have the right to protest. But there are limits on it. The problem starts when the calls are made. The problem starts when the calls like attack, when the calls like if they don't close that shop, somebody calls that the meat of that shop smells bad for him. He said, if they don't close it, take that meat, but don't give it to me because it smells bad for him. So those are the problems. It starts there. But really, I do want us to separate this thing. That piece is what we need without calling the police, without calling the soldiers. But if there are some words, if there are some voices that make the call that will tell people that will be stopped and all that, as it happens, burn tires, collecting tires, the forces should be there. We are quite happy that the day has started well, and we hope it proceeds that way. But we are also making the call to the political leadership of all levels to keep talking and say, keeping peace like this is the best for all of us.
All right, let's take the last one. Go ahead.
Minister Peter from News 24. Minister, just night we received the reports that there were attempts to loot malls, particularly in Soweto, at Dobsonville. Are you aware of such, and if so, what has the police done to quell such situations?
Well, I think one thing that has happened much better this time, and we were highly criticized previously, is that we did not mobilize many people to work together, including communities. That was also said by that commission led by Professor Africa. I think it's one thing that have really done better this time. We're working very closely with communities in many ways. If you go to Soweto now, there are big groups of communities around Maponya, around Spinville and all those, even Guamashu. Even yesterday we met with Amakosi to deal with those matters. So the issue of this kind of looting will be even looked after by the communities. I was told this morning that there was that. I think there is one butcher that was banned at Dube. Yeah. That's the only incident that is there that will have to go and chase and so what is happening. But one thing that the police must do and do better is to arrest. Anybody that breaks the law must be arrested, and anybody that works within the peaceful ways of doing it must be allowed to do that thing.
Lion Chair Minister, if you allow me, Minister, I would like to invite the chairperson, the chair of the Net Joints to just give us a word or two. General, if you can join us. And it is Lieutenant General Dibula Musigiri, colleagues.
Thank you very much. From the Net Joint's point of view, it's just to confirm what we have indicated when we were outlining the plan of the operation throughout the country. Our deployments are still standing as planned. As we have indicated that we are working on the 5-pillar approach, it will then mean up to this far that our intelligence collection, it's really yielding positive results. We are also seeing members in uniform from all sectors, from all the departments that we have collated to work together with. We are still continuing the operation. It might be too early to claim victory thus far, but as the Minister has indicated and as we have seen around, it's still peaceful, and we want to thank the leaders for making that call for their members to continue to march, to protest, to picket if they want to. But the reiteration that I want to make is that can we do it peacefully so that we maintain the 57 arrests. We don't want to increase the numbers more than this. We want our members to remain as calm as they are, but the surety is that anyone who gets out of line will be put back to line. And because we are the law enforcement, we do that by making sure that we put them in the line in accordance with the laws, and that is only through the arrest. They will increase if people continue to get out of hand. We had noted sporadic incidents of the burning. We are going to respond to that and will respond positively just to make sure that everybody who wants to march will march in the clear streets without any hindrance of them not being able to pass where there is fire.
All right.